Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on the webinar today. I'm Shannon, the sales manager here at Exact Contact. Today presenting, we have Jeanne Reynolds. She is the founder of Eidesis Solutions. Jeanne's built her career working as president, EVP, IT project management roles, giving her an extensive business and process knowledge. She has brought her operational skills to the CRM space in several industries of insurance, healthcare, manufacturing, professional services, and now the real estate space. Jeanne's mastered the CRM space and holds several certifications for many of the most innovative and creative CRMs in these industries. We're proud to host this webinar and bring Jeanne's voice to our CRM, Exact Contact. I'm going to turn things over to Jeanne now. Enjoy your hour, and thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. This is very exciting for us today. First of all, we are thankful for Exact Contact today. They have been awesome to set this up for us and let us give this to you. And so we're appreciative to them. The next thing is, just a moment, Shannon. There we go. It worked. Shannon, I just thank you for that introduction. And I just want to do a quick shout out to some of the people that are here today. Our new members from Austin. On this webinar. A little bit, I got to talk about the history. We've only been in your space for about 3 years. And although I have a lot of funny stories about it, which I'll share some of them today to you, but I have to give you some background on how this even came about. We got calls from realtors about CRMs, right? And then we would also get calls about accounting and different processes, and we would help them through. But at the end of the day, we found what we needed to do is try to create some kind of workshop for realtors in this space so that they can get up and running all in one day. Yes, all in one day. And that's kind of how this all started for us 3 years ago. Now, after we got started, there's a few things I certainly had to learn about. I'm going to be very blunt about this industry. First of all, when we got into this industry, I truly believe realtors are just nickeled and dimed. I'm amazed compared to the other industries we're in. The next part is, sorry, but there's a lot of subpar vendors serving your industry, and I believe it's because of that, it's created a lot of skeptical environment in your industry, and it's quite honestly, it's deserved. The next thing is we come from a space of different industries of CRM, so we had high expectations and requirements to find a CRM so that we could teach in our workshops. And that's the foundation of why we're here today. We're here because we chose Exact Contact 3 years ago, and throughout the next hour, you're going to find out why we did. In the last 3 years, we've continued to use them and accept them, and we do an annual review. So they're still our workshop buddy and our realtor go-to CRM. A couple of things I want to also advise you of. When we came into your industry, there were some things we were looking for. We were looking for a content provider for the CRM, for your email marketing. We were looking for a good, robust contact management capability. We were looking for email marketing capability. Now, you'll hear about this later, but we wanted that email marketing capability on the CRM platform. The last part is we want to integrated websites with the CRM. All of this stuff that I just logged off to you, this was the expectations of the CRM industries we're used to. So that's why we had high expectations. Now, let me tell you a little bit of what I learned coming into your industry. The first thing I learned is how to say the word realtor. Yes, I still can't believe it. And then the other thing I learned was that there's realtors and non-realtors. So this was kind of interesting. I have bought and sold houses, right, for me, my family, and I couldn't believe I didn't even know that. So I was just kind of giving you some perspective of some things that, as a consumer, what I started to learn about your industry. So today, this is what we're going to do. We're going to spend the next 45 minutes. I've organized it this way. For your industry, we have what's called the 4 legs of the CRM landscape. They are divided into 4 sections. The first one will be, what is Salesforce automation and why the heck should you even care? The next one is, what are CRM tasks? And the CRM tasks will be the part why a Daytimer's journal or Excel doesn't work. The third will be CRM and your email marketing automation piece. And lastly, what is social CRM? So getting started, the first leg is going to be Salesforce automation. So a little bit of background. The background and the evolution of CRM, it all started for sales reps. This was sales rep territory. It was to help companies and their sales reps process through each of their clients, each of their leads, each of their opportunities, and get them flowing so that they could see their productivity. So it was really a productivity tool. Over the last 20 years, these CRMs have grown to incorporate different types of features. They've expanded to being able to do sales, order processing, contact information sharing, customer service, order forecasting. So if you feel confused about CRM, this is exactly why. There are so many pieces to the puzzle. You keep wanting to ask yourself, so what is it I need to choose? And that's the focus today. The focus is helping you in the real estate space to choose the CRM. Now, let's talk about the Salesforce automation piece. That piece is really it creates a roadmap. It's a roadmap of what you probably have heard are sales funnels. So to keep it really simple, we all start with our contact database, and then we process it through, whether depending on your industry and how you go through your process, but you go from a contact to a lead to an opportunity to hopefully a presentation to an eventual sale, right? So that all sounds normal. But about 20 years ago, there's a big 10,000-pound gorilla in this space called Salesforce.com that started. And what is phenomenal about Salesforce is kind of skew the perception of CRM. Just to iterate, they started as sales rep compliant. That's all their focus was sales reps. So, but over the last 20 years, they really have grown into this other productivity arena. And they're constantly adding more features. And they're brought along, we talk about them all the time in our other industries, and sometimes in my workshops with you realtors, some of you have never even heard of Salesforce.com. But it's important to know that this Salesforce.com truly has grown to literally, I mean, we're at a 90 billion market cap for this company. So CRMs are here to stay. Now, let's go back to the sales funnel. And a normal rep, maybe 80%, they go from contact to lead to opportunities, and then they get to do a presentation. And then if they're lucky, the client says yes, the product is delivered, and yay, they get their money. So isn't that exciting? However, in your space, it's different. Yes, you go from contact to finding the leads, to finding those leads that are really opportunistic. Then you get, hopefully, to do a presentation. And then, with that presentation, they sign an agent agreement, the acceptance. However, for you realtors, now the hard work starts. You now, after 1 billion hours, you may finally see your money. Wow. So that says to me, you're commission only. What effort you put out is effort you're going to get back. And without going into all the details of the current market, inventories, it's easy to get off on all that, but we're not. We're just going to focus that today, you as a realtor are competing with other realtors. And what you want to do is you want to beat out your competition. And we want to give you those strategies and capabilities to do exactly that. So, back to the sales funnel. We went from contacts to leads to opportunities. I get asked about what in the world does opportunities really mean. We hear a lot. What does it mean? What it means is that you're going to find opportunities. It may be in group networking. It might be whatever schools. You may go and find opportunities and then recognize that some of these people, put them into your contact database and then start nurturing them. So you go from leads to opportunities by simply going, I think I can get somewhere. Maybe the opportunity is they're looking to buy a house. Maybe the opportunity is they want to sell a house. Those are the opportunities you find. I'm pretty pragmatic. I'm a business owner like all of you, and I don't like fluff. So fluff means I'm just going to give you like, this is kind of what it's all about, but I need to give you some actionable strategies today. So here's one of them that's really gone well. I want you, those of you who've been in this industry and you have previous buyers and sellers, I want you to go back in your history in your file, and I want you to take every single contact, every single transaction, and I want you to start grouping them by year. So I'm actually asking you to actually work backwards. And so you can take your most recent transactions, which may be sitting in your management solution, your transaction management solution. But then if you go down long enough, and if you've been in this industry long enough, you're going to have to finally go to your paper files. And so what we want to see is that you get all these contacts of your history from 5, 10, 15 years by year. And oh, by the way, you do need to go to public records to make sure they still own the house you sold them, which is a little hurtful. You may need some Kleenex when you find out they sold it without you. But then at that point, a strategy is based on a tactic. The tactic here is placing all of your past transactions, getting them grouped by year, and then we go and say, what does the market tell us? The market is telling us that people are selling their homes between 7 and 10 years, and we use that as a benchmark. This is a strategy. This is the beginning of how you start taking previous buyers, previous people who've been in your life, and working forward by working backwards. Now, if you got that, keep in mind we are recording this, and that's the part that I get people want to re-listen to, and so you'll be able to do exactly that. Now let me move into a little bit about the CRM landscape. There are many CRMs out there that are not real estate specific. I've got a few of them up here. We deal with all these. We deal with over 20 CRMs. We're partners. We're affiliates. So we know them. We know how they work, how they don't work. One thing that's happening with many of these up here is they did not start out as real estate, but if you have looked at them and they now call themselves real estate specific, I want to remind you right now they didn't start that way, and that's important to know that. They basically are just taking advantage of a strategy of plugging their ability into a new industry. That some of it works, some of it doesn't work. I'm not going to get into that today, but what I am going to recommend to all of you today is go and find real estate specific ones to start out. If all of you attending today are those still looking for the right CRM, then here's what I'm going to tell you. If you've been looking, you've been taking trials, you've been kind of messing around with them, and you kind of don't know, well, I hope today you're going to get enough information to just pull the trigger and choose one and go for it. That's the big message today. Just do it because you're going to learn by doing. As we go today, yes, I'm absolutely going to talk about exact contact and why the heck we chose them. So that hopefully will help you and help you in your decision making as you go forward. For those of you who have already started with the CRM and you've already updated, you've already uploaded your contacts, do not stop. Stay with it. Just take what you're going to learn here today and apply it. Now, where are you going to start? For those who are just kind of looking around, what do I use, what do you use, where are you going to start? You're going to start with your contacts. And the first step is to find them all. So believe it or not, you're going to find these contacts in some kind of amazing places, and then you need to aggregate them. You're going to find them on Facebook, you're going to find them on LinkedIn, you're going to find them in your current, whether you used to use Yahoo, you use they could be spread all over the place. We had one client who had contacts over 13 different databases. And what we did for her is that we took them all and we aggregated them into one, sorted them so there were no duplicates, and then we're able to upload it into her CRM exact. So there is some work to do here, I will tell you that right now. But for those who are able to, get them all into one Excel spreadsheet would be a nice beginning. Be able to sort them for duplicates, that would be really nice. be able to sort it for any emails that are missing, because that would be one of your tasks afterwards to clean those up. But that's your first step. So we've just hit our best practice number 1. The best practice right now is to place all the contacts into one database. And now we're going to slowly start building your business powers. Your next leg is CRM tasks. And this is going to be probably the longest part of this presentation to talk about CRM tasks. So CRM tasks, you kind of think of yourself, what could that be? You know, you just bring up your contact, you make a phone call, you put in a note. Well, it's bigger than that. Building superpowers is about building what? It's about building rich and robust profiles of each of your contacts. It also means capturing all of your interactions of everything you do with each and every contact. What am I talking about? Well, I want to know that when I bring up a contact in my CRM, I know that when I bring it up, I'm going to see what I said last on a phone call. I'm going to see if I have any notes to follow up. I'm going to see if I had any reminders. What do I have on the calendar for them? And oh, by the way, I'm also going to see all the emails I sent them, all in the history of the profile of my contact. Let me tell you, I don't know about any of you, but I can't remember what I said 5 minutes ago sometimes. So if I'm making phone call after phone call after phone call in a day, I have to stop. I had to really discipline myself to stop, enter information, or what's really become a good habit of mine is after I hang up, I set up an email and I say, thank you for talking to me. I literally write down what we talked about, what I promised, and that email goes into their contact history, so I can see it right there. And now, this takes time, this kind of discipline, and perhaps those of you don't know or think you need a CRM for this reason. Now I'm going to say something harsh that's tough. The realtors that do not think they need a CRM, they're realtors that are not building up their network. They are not hustling. They are not adding new people, networking out there. At the end of the day, I can't even take hold of all the new contacts we had just in the last year if I had not placed them into my CRM. So this is for those of you who want to hustle, who want to stay on top and not short, really, let me say it this way. When people know that you remember what you said the last phone call, that builds trust. So all touch points, right? Your industry uses this word a lot, touch points. That's the only reason I threw this in here. And so whenever you touch somebody, phone calls, whatever it is, all these touch points, we want them into the profile of the contact. Now, on a side note, I have to bring something up. Sorry, I got to take a sip. So 3 years ago, when we started looking into your space, and I don't get to share all the funny stories that we have about that experience, but one thing did show up. Remember I said earlier there's a lot of subpar vendors servicing your industry? Well, there are. And one of the ways we were able to pretty much get to the top of those that we wanted to work with was how well their CRM was architected. Now, what does that even mean? Let me tell you what it means. It means that I want to know that when I'm in a CRM, I can get anywhere I want to go in 2 clicks. That means it's efficiently architected. It's efficiently I can navigate it. That's what I'm looking for. Some of the CRMs out there that actually are used quite a lot, sometimes it would take me 5 clicks to get where we needed to go. So I want to say right now, the way that Exact is architected, everything is 2 clicks away. You'll see a little bit of that just a little later. So a little bit about organizing tasks, organizing everything I've been talking about in this area, and also bringing up a little bit of that 2-click concept. On this, what you're looking at is a screenshot where the top navigation bar is up here. And today we're not going to go through each one as I usually do in my workshops. We're just going to really delve into a few parts. But here I clicked on the task list, and here I'm able to immediately look at all the tasks that I need to deal with on a overall. Now, why do I say overall? Because I can go to a profile a contact like Stan's here, and now I can look into Stan's activity history, and now I get to see all of the stuff that's going on. My emails, my phone calls, any activity plan I have with Stan. Now I can see what I'm doing with Stan. So that's what I'm talking about when I say everything we do with a contact goes into their profile. Now, next step on picking your CRM. When you're out there searching, and I call it search and destroy missions many times, we're trying to find out, I want you to find a CRM that they answer their phone, or at least at minimal their chat box. Or wait a minute, maybe even their emails. 3.5 years ago, when we were going through this, I will not begin to tell you how aggravated I was. I could not get responses. So I even left voicemails and didn't get responses. So very annoyed at the time, and it's literally, with all the CRMs we call, we literally got a response rate of less than 18%. Still an annoyance in many ways, but it is what it is. Now, I won't even talk about those CRMs that use customer service that are not, in your local area. That's not part of it. I actually say that's okay. I just want them to answer their phone. Obviously, it's going to be obvious to all of you right now that, yeah, Exact picked the phone up. My first call to them. Okay. Now, you noticed on that screen regarding Stan and how we looked at his activity plan, and I said, wow, we've got notes in there, we got phone calls, we got everything in there. Well, guess what else is in there? All the emails I've sent Stan. And how in the world is that possible? Am I asking you to use the CRM that you send out emails through it? Absolutely not. Instead, I want you to use the email you have. It can be with Gmail, it can be with Yahoo, it can be with AOL. I don't care what service you're using. Every single one of those emails will still populate inside the contacts profile. Now, how's that even possible? And of course, we refer to it as magic. This is how it works. And this is why I'm glad we're recording today, because a lot of times we have to go through this part, and today, because of time, I can only go through things once. So the way it works with 3 identifiers. The first identifier is your user ID with your CRM. So today we're going to talk Exact. Let me be real clear so I don't confuse the landscape. I'm so used to talking about so many CRMs, and to be honest, let me just be a little bit more focused on just how Exact works, which several of them do and several of them do not. All right, so they take your user ID number, which is your email. Then they're going to take the email address of your contact that's in your Exact profile. And then the third thing, which you're going to do, is in blind carbon copy, you're going to insert notes at exactcontact.com. Those 3 identifiers is why all the emails to that profile person, that contact, is going to go into their history. I'm telling you, that is just like, when I give this workshop, everybody's like, that is so cool. And it is cool. This includes whether you use Outlook, it doesn't matter. So overall, the bottom line is you've got to be consistent in your practices, but it will not happen overnight. It takes time to get into new habits, takes time. But also, for someone like me, I got burned a lot. I would go and make 5 phone calls and I'd forget about what I promised to. I made those errors and had to learn to become more disciplined, had to stay on top of it. And the hardest part is, if you're like me, you just want to go from phone call to phone call. It is so hard to stop, make notes, and go. But as I said earlier, I think the answer is always follow up those phone calls with an email that will automatically go into your CRM. There you go. So that brings us to our best practice number 2. All of your touch points are easily located in your contacts profile. We absolutely need that, want that, must have that. Now, let's go to the next level of CRM staff. So now we want to really supercharge you. We really want to get this even more robust. And this is going to happen over time, not right away. What this means is we really want you to build some rich and robust contact profiles. And what does that mean? It means bringing the personality of your contacts into their profile. So what it means is you're going to start with their name and their address. At the very minimum, just start there. Feel fine. It's good. But from there and over time, you can add their birthday, their hobbies, their kids, their pets. And as I've said in my workshop, I do not want you to underestimate the power of knowing your client's pet's adoption dates. And let me tell you, it's a very big deal. And so for those of you in San Diego, well, you know, quite frankly, we got Austin here, we got Seattle, we got all of you. So I take it back. You're all pet country, USA. So you understand what I'm talking about here. It is very funny, but it works. So how do we, after we start building on this, what's the next piece of these robust profiles? It means we want to put these people into groups. So let's say, for example, you have a child in school. You go to that school and you're involved at school, whether it's in the sports, whether it's the child's class or the PTA. You literally can have, you could meet like 30 new parents at your child's school, but yet each of them could go into 3 different groups. Or they can go to all 3 groups, and that you can set it up that way. Now we're getting into really powering up in your CRM usage and eventually into marketing. This is a big deal, getting them into groups in common interests. It is true if you can aggregate people into groups, you will start seeing what can happen from there. So on grouping, I want to bring up, because it does come up quite a lot, grouping has the same effect as tagging, segmenting, or categorizing. You'll see different ways of explaining this in different CRMs, but they all do the same thing. They're all trying to set this up to allow you to do some really fun stuff. One thing it allows you to do is it allows you, for example, say you have a group that is all golfers. Let me tell you, I've got a group of golfers and a group of tennis players. I go to the golf shop when we're going to go golfing, and I go, hey, can I offer a coupon? So when I send out to my golfers, hey, we're going to all golf this time, and we know who can. Oh, by the way, those who show up, George over at Golf Pro Shop is going to give you 20% off. Guess what? It works. And you don't have to do anything other than to start getting to know George at the golf shop. Same thing. The coolest idea was from one of the realtors in my workshop. He's a 30-something who wears great, I don't know, what do you call those shorts? Well, he's always in his slip-ons, flip-flops, and walks in, and pretty casual, but he has a very robust real estate business, and he's a great personable guy. Well, let me tell you what he did. He had a girlfriend who makes organic dog biscuits. So he got to her and says, look, I want to give organic dog biscuits to everybody. And so she would package them up, and he would deliver them to their front door, no matter where it is, with his card. It worked. Then he followed up all of that with saying, hey, if you like them, go here, say my name, and you'll get 20% off some more biscuits. That's collaboration, working together, expanding your network. And it's fun. So building your business, it means you're going to build a community, a tribe, a common heartbeat in your groups. The more you do this, the more you're customizing, the more you're personalizing, you're going to end up having a lot more fun, and so are they with you. Now that brings up best practice number 3. It means we want you to build rich client groups by grouping and categorizing so we can create that very personalized experience. Next, guess what, guys? If your CRM does not have a mobile app, you must change. You must have the ability to go to an event and get into your car and start entering the names of people you just met at minimum. I don't know about you guys, but I've been to many events and people don't have any business cards. It drives me crazy. I'll get in my car and try my best to start going, all right, I met her and I think I know her email address, or, you know, somehow enough information to at least put it into the app at minimum to remind me to do some kind of follow-up. You know, and usually an event like that, I end up going to the event organizers to say, do you have the list who attended? That's how I back into it, and that's how I go find which one of these people did I actually meet. I don't take a list of something like that and I just send out an email at all. It's only people I actually talk to and follow up with them. So best practice number 4, CRM best practices do not stop at the office door. You want a mobile app. They are getting better. They're not, some of them are not as robust as others. And I won't even get into that, and I could. It's all about how they developed the code it's written on, a lot of techie stuff. Won't go there. So we want a mobile app. Yes, of course, Exact Contact has it. If they didn't, shame on them, but they do. Thank you very much. Third leg. I'm looking at the clock. All right, got about 15 more minutes, everyone. As I said, we are recording this. Yes, I am going fast. Sorry about that. So the next leg, third leg, is email marketing. So believe it or not, I kind of get asked, what does email marketing mean? So I thought, you know, I'm going to go look it up to see what it says out there. I don't know. And the truth is, it really doesn't. It's nothing more than we all don't already know. Basically, it's the ability to take an email and send it out to our customers, to our clients, and be able to sell a product, to sell our services. So it's a commercial message, isn't it? It's trying to get a solicitation. There's a effort and why we are sending it out. So that is what email marketing is. Kind of simple, right? It makes sense. But then the next question that comes up is, what is email marketing? Or sorry, what is email automation? So that's a really good question because it kind of gets people confused about it. Email marketing automation is being able to take these emails and literally set up days, times, and weeks ahead to have them go out so that you are not having to deal with this every single day. It means automation. It means setting it up on the first of the month, and it's all going out on different intervals over the next 30 days. So this can include your newsletters, your activity plans, all of this automatically. So that's really important to know the difference. And that's important. Now, let's talk about, for just a moment, that kind of gets people crazy, is if you're gonna, I can't even talk now. If I want you to send out a newsletter, and I want you to send out activity plans, I want you to send out emails, well, that means you need content. So, I'm sorry, it brings back memories in your industry early on, trying to find people who create content. And slowly I found out that some of the CRMs actually have their own library of content. That was like awesome. Every vendor that had content ready-made, they went right to the top of the list because that would reduce so much brain damage. I go, okay, we're going to just look at them. So as you can see, we kind of start having our requirements, and certain of those CRMs start rising to the top. But then not all content is made equal. That is so true. And so the issue really came down to is finding quality content. I have to say Exact actually has a fantastic marketing company, and that's probably why their content looks so darn good. They send up to all of our clients, they will update automatically a newsletter for you to automatically use and send out to all of your clients. You don't have to do anything. It'll all go up automatically. Now, over time, though, you can change that. You can customize these original newsletters to make it your own voice. And that's cool. But in the beginning, you've got to start somewhere. And they give you a good format to start at. The other thing they've got are activity plans. And I bring up this one, activity plans for renters, a lot because it's just the easiest one. And activity plans, what they've done is they've written 24 months worth of activity plans for renters to become home buyers. Now, that's pretty good. It's good. So what I say to everyone who takes the CRM with content, please review it before you automatically send it out. You don't need to change it in the beginning, but eventually you can add your own voice. And that would be nice over time, but not right away. In my first few workshops, I would have several people say, oh, I want to write my own stuff. And I would just smile. And, you know, I go, well, that's great, but you're not doing it now. And so take something like that and use it as a teaching mentor on how to do things and how to slowly take their content and really rev it into your own voice. I have many realtors who set themselves up automatically utilizing their content in the beginning, and then finally over time they would add different things to perhaps the content right before when the newsletters go out. It would be their voice, but it took time. And then over time, Exact has now added special occasion cards, which is great. I used to spend almost 30 minutes in my workshops showing people how to make great great occasion cards on their own free with free photos. But now Exact has put me out of business of having to teach that now, which thank you very much. Now, go back to the content. The content at its very essence means you're educating, right? You're nurturing. And over time, if you build up those rich profiles, you're going to build trust, becoming a trusted advisor. What is all starting to happen? I'm starting to tell you to differentiate yourself from other realtors. There is no, in every single industry, whether it is solopreneurs, whether it is accountants, whether it is masseurs, I don't care what they are, those who go and do these best practices win. They go to the top 20%, the top 10%. They slowly migrate up to being top producers in their industry. So since I'm talking about content and education and activity plans, I needed to bring up something. In my industries of manufacturing, of probably professional services, we use different jargon. In other words, we use the word campaigns, and we use the word launches a lot. In your space, in real estate, you use activity plans, checklists a lot. They are all, in many ways, one and the same. So with activity plans with Exact, as you can see, we're right here. All I did was the top navigation bar you saw earlier, I just clicked on activity plans and up came up all the marketing plans. And at the very top is the one that I specifically said earlier about renters. It's right here. And when you go in here, and that's really what I want you to do. I want you to just go into Exact and really get a sense of what's all there. And so if you go and mess around, navigate through it, poke your nose here and there, you're going to get a sense of what the content is about. And in this content, you literally are able to go see all 24 months of content. You're able to automatically send it out in intervals of, say, 24 days, 30 days, and create that automation for your renters. And the same for everyone else, perhaps for sellers and for individual listers. So the library of content, these activity plans, all of this allows you to nurture, to educate, to stay in front year after year, so that at the end of the day, you will be out in front and you will learn how to do this by having your own voice. Let me tell you one quick story. I'm looking at the time now, and I have a staff in front of me, you know, shaking their heads, showing me the time. But I had literally one of my very first real estate clients 3 years ago was a lady who's been in the industry for 25 years, didn't have anything, didn't have a CRM, and she was just so sick of it herself that she did. She came in. Let me tell you, her first newsletter that went out, she got 3 new buyers and listings. And I literally brought that lady in front to a conference to tell a story. So the other piece I have to bring up to tell you, when you send out your first newsletter, watch what happens. It happens. People will respond. They go, wow, this is neat. You do get responses. So it's really fun. Now, we're talking about sending out emails, sending out activity plans, sending out newsletters. We're talking about, well, how do they get out? Now, this little piece here gets a little confusing, but there are 2 different ways. Some CRMs have email marketing, email capability to send out automatically in their CRM. Exact is one of them. Our other CRMs make you go off the CRM and then integrate and create an integration like with Constant Contact and MailChimp. Now, just so you know, we are a partner and we are affiliate with just about everyone, even Constant Contact, even MailChimp. You know, we're all over the place, we know, because with some of these other CRMs in other industries, we have to connect to these MailChimp things. So we know what that's like, and we also know the brain damage. And let me tell you what you don't get. When you use Exact and you use their email marketing tool and you use their newsletters and you send it out, why is this important? Because everything you send out will automatically go into the history of the profile. Get it? I know. This is the part you probably have to listen to again. I'm going to say it one more time. Anything you send out through Exact, through the email marketing capability, it will automatically populate each of your contact history that you sent it to. That is a huge, big deal. All right, moving right along. At the end of the day, we want to remind you to build rich, robust profile. It includes all the CRM tasks, and it includes all your emails, and it includes every single communication you send out automatically. One last thing on being legal. Most CRMs, especially those we're associated with, they all have the ability where when you send out an email, that your recipients can unsubscribe. Normally I don't bring this up, but something's been happening in the last 4 or 5 months. I've been receiving emails, and there's no unsubscribe in them. And I'm very annoyed. And I am thinking this is coming from LinkedIn's IQ Navigator, but I am pretty upset. I've even gone so far to try to track them down as to who they are, what's going on. So I'm bringing that up today. If you receive emails and you do not have an unsubscribe, at minimum, you could reply cancel, or you just put them into your, block them. So just heads up, this is new, what's happening, and I wanted to just bring that up without getting too geeky. All right, next part, measuring your efforts. Looking at the time, oh my God, I am running out of time. Metrics, I'm going to go through all this really fast. So what we want to do is when we send out our emails, we want to know who's opening them. We want to know how many times. We want to know if they're interested in anything we're doing. On these screens I'm about to go through, probably a little fast, is literally, they are snapshots from my CRM in Exact. Now, open rates very quickly, you're going to hear, if you go to like Constant Contact or MailChimp, they'll say, hey, open rates 6-12%, yay. Not in my workshops and not when I talk to you, realtors or people in business who have a contact list of people you actually know. If you are sending them to people you already know, you're going to have an open rate of 20, 30, 65%. Yes, you are. You will have high open rates. This open rate for us in your industry is extremely high, but I think it's just because we hit on a topic that people really need out there. Next, when you get your reports, you're going to be able to see what days they seem to open up more than others to help you tell you when you need to send them out. It will also tell you the hour of the day that will open up more than not. On this, I just want to really quickly show you this. On August 5th, we sent it out, and 93 opened it up pretty fast, but then as you see, they continue to open it up for 2 weeks on that email. Now, another thing is probably the biggest part of getting leads, getting referrals, and the whole CRM landscape is how does that work? What happens is that you will also be able to look at the details of all the e-marketing you're sending out. The detail is going to tell you the name of the person, their email address, and how many times they opened it. What you're seeing here is we had to literally change all the names, so we used a bunch of presidents' names. However, all over here, these are real. We literally wanted to give you an example of open rates. This is actually true. This person that actually opened it up, what they did was they actually forwarded it to other people, and they kept opening it up. But it lets us know anyone who opens up our emails 3 or 4 times, we know that they're going to sign up for our workshop. It's pretty good. It's a great way to know what your hot leads are. In your industry, anyone that opens up your newsletter more than 2, 3, 4 times, there's something in that newsletter that they want to know about. Best practice, measure your email marketing efforts. And then you can take actionable steps. Fourth leg is social CRM. I'm looking at the clock. I'm going to rush through this. Social CRM is pretty much what it says. It means that you can build profiles, your rich, robust profiles, using people's social profiles. Now, for you realtors, though, what that means is I'm going to kind of thank everybody's hands and say, go out there, Google yourself, and find out what is showing up. Many of you have empty profiles who have been around for a while. This is not good, because if people are checking you out for referrals, you're going to look like you're not in business, and that is not good. So I'm pretty much on many of my clients' cases, you're going to have to go to each one and just cut and paste bio information and move on. Yes, I do sound really bossy right now, don't I? But that's what I do. You got to do this. So at the end of the day, the more you're able to create your profiles, because you're going to be able to address referrals who are looking you up, and you're going to be able to take control of your branding, your image, and your voice. So this slide is really about all the changes going on at Facebook, which is crazy. But I want to mention right now is that I just look at Facebook as generational. You got a lot of families on there with grandparents, and I still think it's a great place to be. Excuse me. This is something interesting we're going to end on. This is what a profile page looks like in Exact, and yes, that's me. So what it looks like is you hit your profile, and here it comes up, and that's why it's 2 clicks. You'll see my contact profile, my keep in touch newsletters. This is my social intelligence. So when I go here, anyone that you have their name and their email address, when you put that in and you save it in Exact, up comes this tab, and up comes their profiles. Yay. This is Rich, who's VP over at Exact. This is what his profile looks like. Yes, he's that cute. And then this is what it's going to look like in a couple months. They're doing a new build out. Yay. I love it because they constantly improve, constantly build on the features, functionality, and I love this build out. So here you are, you're going to go to the profile. Here's you're now going to see who they are, going to see their picture, and then over here you're going to see your pipeline right here. I love this next iteration. I love it. Okay, next, have a website. You know, I didn't really pounce on this a couple years ago. I'm pouncing on it now. The main reason I pounce on it is that if you, Exact, actually, I'm going to spill the beans with them. So they did great. They've got an integrated website, which is great. And it's actually part of your CRM cost, $33, $39 a month. Now, the website allows you to have an extra page that you can put all your testimonials in. If you plug in all your testimonials on that page, on that website, and use that as a link in your email signatures, how good is that with referrals? Lastly, one more time, take responsibility of your public profiles. I'm serious, and I know probably where I get bossy, but I really mean it. Practice 6, have your profiles up to date. So, in summary, oh my God, it's so close. So, we've gone through our 6 practices, but we have one more. One more is just do it. I mean, just find a CRM and just begin, please. You can learn from it. You'll improve on it. You basically, I think, when you try to make good decisions, you know, I know that sometimes no decisions are good decisions, but in this situation, choose a CRM. Now, sometimes I know you don't do it. Talking about this, man, I'm going to be on your case if you're ever in one of the workshops. Just do it. It will work. All right. In summary, I'm sorry I'm rushing. I feel terrible because I can talk too much. So I want to thank Exact Contact for their sponsorship today. We do love them. We appreciate them. They've been awesome these 3 years. We are going to send you all a follow-up email, an invitation to a follow-up webinar in 2 weeks. Yeah, it's never been done before. It's brand new. We're doing this, and no reason you can reject us, but we want to see if we can get you on task this year. You will see that follow-up. Next thing you're going to find is everybody, Exact is going to offer all of you a 60-day trial. So yay. So you're going to get a link to that shortly. And then for any reason you don't see it, then all you need to do is go to exactcontact.com and they place my initials, JR, in the partner code, so you'll get those 60 days off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Now go out and do it, and we are done. Thank you. Shannon, it's yours. And I believe Shannon might not be there.
My apologies, I was on mute, but I'm here now. Thanks so much, Jeannie. And thank you, everybody, for attending this afternoon and joining us. As Jeannie said, we'll send out the recording and all of the details of how you can get Exact to get organized for the year shortly after the webinar. Have a great afternoon.